Our inner dialogue holds immense power over our lives. It shapes how we perceive ourselves, how we interact with others, and ultimately how we experience the world. The way we talk to ourselves, especially in times of challenge or failure, can either propel us toward success or keep us stuck in negative cycles. Unfortunately, many of us aren't even aware of the negative self-talk that runs through our minds. Thoughts of self-doubt, criticism, and fear creep into our internal dialogue, diminishing our confidence and holding us back from reaching our true potential. The truth is, negative self-talk doesn't just hurt our self-esteem, it affects our performance, relationships, and well-being. Fortunately, just like we can improve our communication with others, we can also improve how we speak to ourselves. Dale Carnegie, one of the greatest thought leaders in personal development and communication, offers invaluable tools for reshaping how we think and interact with the world. His principles, which focus on empathy, understanding, and positivity, can be just as impactful when applied to our inner dialogue as they are in external communication. In this video, we will explore how Dale Carnegie's time-tested techniques can help us master positive self-talk. By rewiring our internal conversations, we can foster a mindset of success, break free from self-imposed limitations, and cultivate a life filled with confidence, positivity, and growth. Chapter 1. Identifying the patterns of negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is often sneaky. It shows up uninvited in moments of uncertainty or failure, creeping into our minds and planting seeds of self-doubt. I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. I'm a failure. These are just a few of the destructive thoughts many of us encounter regularly. Initially, these thoughts may seem harmless, but over time they build upon one another, reinforcing limiting beliefs that hold us back from reaching our full potential. Dale Carnegie's approach teaches us to take a step back and observe our internal dialogue. The first step in overcoming negative self-talk is simply being aware of it. We need to notice when we are engaging in self-criticism or doubting our abilities. This requires mindfulness, becoming aware of our thoughts before they can control our actions. Once we notice negative thought patterns, we can begin to dissect them and ask ourselves why we're thinking this way. For example, if you're about to take on a challenging task and your mind says, "I'm not good enough to handle this," pause for a moment. Where is that thought coming from? Is it based on facts, or is it a fear rooted in past experiences or insecurities? By identifying the root cause of these thoughts, we can begin to challenge their validity and replace them with more empowering beliefs. In Carnegie's view, self-awareness is key. Just as we analyze external conflicts to resolve them effectively, we must analyze our internal conflicts. By recognizing and questioning negative thoughts, we can start to dismantle them and create space for a more positive inner narrative. Chapter 2. Active listening to your inner voice. In his well-known and influential work, Dale Carnegie emphasized the crucial role of active listening in fostering meaningful communication with others. Active listening, according to Carnegie, is much more than just hearing the words that are spoken. It involves deeply understanding the underlying emotions and perspectives that accompany those words. This concept of active listening can be just as effectively applied to the way we listen to our own thoughts. Rather than passively accepting negative or unhelpful thoughts at face value, we must engage with them actively, reflect on their deeper meanings, and carefully assess whether or not they are accurate. When we practice active listening to our inner dialogue, we begin to realize that our thoughts are not always grounded in reality. Our minds have a tendency to fabricate stories or create exaggerated narratives that do not accurately reflect the facts. Take, for instance, a scenario where you make a mistake at work. In this moment, your inner critic might seize the opportunity to flood your mind with harsh self-judgment, saying something like, "You always mess up. You'll never succeed." Instead of simply accepting these thoughts as absolute truths, practicing active listening means pausing to question them. You might ask yourself, why am I thinking this way right now? Is it really true that I always mess up, or is this just an overstatement based on one mistake? Engaging in this kind of self-reflection is an incredibly powerful tool in breaking the harmful cycle of negative self-talk. Just as Carnegie advocated for genuinely understanding what others are trying to communicate, we can apply the same principle to how we engage with ourselves. By listening to our own thoughts with the intention of understanding, rather than merely reacting, we begin to uncover the deeper reasons behind why we feel a certain way. This process of self-awareness enables us to shift our inner dialogue from one filled with self-criticism and doubt to one that is rooted in compassion, understanding, and a focus on personal growth. Chapter 3. Replacing negative beliefs with positive affirmations. Once we become conscious of our negative thought patterns and actively engage with them, the next essential step is to replace those thoughts with positive affirmations. In his influential work, Dale Carnegie placed great emphasis on the importance of focusing on the positive traits of others. But why not apply this same practice to ourselves? If we can see the good and potential in others, it stands to reason that we should be just as capable of recognizing and appreciating it within ourselves. Positive affirmations are simple yet profoundly impactful statements that help to reinforce our strengths and abilities. By regularly repeating affirmations such as "I am capable," "I am deserving of success," and "I possess the skills needed to succeed," we begin shifting our focus away from perceived shortcomings to the strengths and talents we already have. Over time, these affirmations can work to reprogram our subconscious minds, replacing feelings of self-doubt with a growing sense of self-confidence and self-worth. It's crucial to remember that affirmations must be framed positively, in the present tense, and be specific to truly have an effect. For example, instead of saying "I will succeed," which suggests uncertainty and pertains to the future, it's far more powerful to say "I am succeeding," as it affirms your abilities and achievements in the here and now. By repeating these affirmations consistently, especially in moments when self-doubt starts to creep in, we help anchor the belief that we are indeed capable and deserving of success. In addition to affirmations, Carnegie also taught us the value of recognizing and appreciating even the smallest victories in life. When we succeed, no matter how minor the achievement may seem, we should make it a point to celebrate it. Taking the time to acknowledge our accomplishments, big or small, strengthens the belief that we are on the right path and encourages a mindset rooted in positivity and growth. When positive affirmations are coupled with an ongoing recognition of our personal achievements, they create a powerful transformative force for fostering personal growth, confidence, and success. Chapter 4. Cultivating empathy toward yourself. Empathy, which is one of Dale Carnegie's core principles in fostering positive relationships with others, is just as essential when it comes to how we treat ourselves. Far too often we become our own harshest critics. When we make mistakes or encounter setbacks, we tend to berate ourselves, believing that we are not good enough. But what if we extended the same level of empathy to ourselves that we would readily offer a friend in the same situation? Would we be so quick to judge ourselves so harshly? Most likely we wouldn't. Empathy involves placing ourselves in our own shoes and acknowledging the emotional context surrounding our mistakes or struggles. Instead of thinking, "I failed again, I'm terrible," we can choose to say, "I'm doing my best and mistakes are a natural part of learning and growth." This shift in mindset opens the door to self-compassion. Just as Carnegie encouraged us to listen with empathy to others, we must also learn to listen with empathy to ourselves. When we approach ourselves with empathy, we stop viewing our perceived shortcomings as failures. Instead, we begin to see them as valuable opportunities for learning and self-improvement. This emotional understanding cultivates a more nurturing inner dialogue, which allows us to approach challenges with resilience and a sense of growth, rather than succumbing to the weight of self-criticism. Empathy toward ourselves helps us recognize that we too deserve the same kindness, patience, and encouragement we would extend to others in times of difficulty. Chapter 5. Celebrating small wins and practicing gratitude. One of the most transformative tools for shifting our mindset is the practice of gratitude. Dale Carnegie strongly believed in the power of appreciation, not just for others but for ourselves as well. When we actively celebrate even the smallest of victories, we reinforce the belief that we are capable of accomplishing great things. Every day, take a moment to reflect on what you've achieved, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Did you finally check off a task that you had been avoiding? Did you navigate a challenging situation with poise and confidence? Did you make progress, even a little, toward a larger goal you're working toward? Acknowledging these accomplishments, no matter the scale, helps build momentum and strengthens our self-esteem. In addition to recognizing our achievements, incorporating a daily gratitude practice can significantly enhance our mindset. Taking time each day to reflect on the things we are thankful for shifts our attention away from what we perceive as lacking in our lives. By intentionally focusing on the positive aspects of our day, we retrain our minds to seek out opportunities, solutions, and the good in every situation, rather than fixating on obstacles. This change in perspective not only cultivates a more optimistic outlook, but it also enhances our ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. The simple act of gratitude, both for our accomplishments and the positive aspects of our lives, ultimately fosters a sense of contentment and empowers us to embrace growth and change. Chapter 6. Embracing the Power of Positive Reinforcement. In his teachings, Carnegie emphasized the power of positive reinforcement to encourage growth in others. But it's just as important to offer ourselves the same encouragement. Self-reinforcement is the act of acknowledging our strengths and efforts, even when things don't go as planned. When we engage in self-criticism, we often overlook the hard work, effort, and courage it took to take on a task or challenge. By celebrating our own determination, resilience, and willingness to try, we reinforce positive behavior and growth. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, focus on the effort and the lessons learned. This will strengthen your belief in your ability to overcome obstacles and succeed. Rewiring your inner dialogue for success. Mastering positive self-talk is not a one-time fix, it's a lifelong journey. Just as we continually work to improve our relationships with others, we must also work to improve our relationship with ourselves. By applying Dale Carnegie's principles of active listening, empathy, positive reinforcement, and celebration, we can gradually transform our inner dialogue into one that supports and encourages us on our journey toward success. Changing how we talk to ourselves takes time and patience, but the rewards are immense. When we choose to speak to ourselves with kindness, understanding, and encouragement, we unlock the true power of positive self-talk. This not only empowers us to achieve our goals, but also helps us build a more positive and fulfilling life, one thought at a time. By rewiring our inner dialogue and embracing the principles of Dale Carnegie, we create a life of success, resilience, and self-belief. The power to transform your reality lies within you. Begin by mastering your inner dialogue today.